28 years ago today, NASA launched the Hubble Deep Space Telescope, and it would turn out to be our greatest view into deep space and some of the most breathtaking images that anyone has ever seen. It's incredible. Like this. If you haven't seen any of these, it's amazing to know, even if you have seen these, it's amazing to know that the telescope was literally this tiny, this close to being just a big, giant piece of scrap in the sky. It's an amazing story. Let me tell you about that today on Space Course. So I've actually heard some people say that they think that the Hubble telescope is actually launched somewhere into deep space, somewhere way out there that's really, really far away. But this isn't true. This isn't true at all. In order to get the amazing, glorious shots that it does, Hubble is actually only 547 kilometers above Earth. That's only 5,982 football fields away. This number may seem pretty high, but consider that our own moon orbits about 4,203,849 football fields away. It's pretty far. So the telescope has a length of a large school bus and weighs as much as 2 adult elephants, although it travels a little bit faster at about 5 miles per second. That is like traveling from the east coast of the United States to the west coast in 10 minutes. Hubble's main objective has always been to take sharp pictures of objects in the sky such as planets, stars, and galaxies. Hubble has made more than 1 million observations in its history. These include detailed pictures of the birth and death of stars, galaxies billions of light years away, and comet pieces crashing into Jupiter's atmosphere. Although today we get these amazing crisp images, Hubble's beginning were pretty rough. Within weeks of launch of the telescope, the returned images indicated a serious problem with the optical system. Although the first images appeared to be sharper than those of ground-based telescopes, Hubble failed to achieve a final sharp focus, and the best image quality obtained was drastically lower than expected. So an analysis of the flawed images showed that the cause of the problem was the primary mirror had been polished to the wrong shape. Although it was probably the most precise figured optical mirror ever made, smooth to about 10 nanometers, at the perimeter, it was too flat by about 2,200 nanometers. This difference was catastrophic, introducing several spherical aberrations, or basically coming out just fuzzy and out of focus. Back on Earth, Kodak had grounded up a backup mirror for Hubble. It would have been impossible to replace the mirror in orbit, and too expensive and too time-consuming to bring the telescope back to Earth for a refit. Instead, the fact that the mirror had been ground so precisely to the wrong shape led to the design of a new optical component with exactly the same error, but in the opposite sense, to be added to the telescope at the servicing mission, effectively acting as telescope's glasses. In December of 1993, 7 astronauts flew aboard the Endeavour space shuttle solely to repair the telescope. The astronauts were trained in the installation of several instruments and other equipment during the 10-day mission. On January 13th, 1994, NASA declared the mission a complete success and showed the first sharper images. Now that Hubble is back up and running, let's answer some common questions that we see about the Hubble. So, first question I always get is, what makes Hubble different from telescopes on Earth? So, why is it just in Earth's orbit and not way, way, way far away? Or why don't we just use telescopes on Earth? Well, Earth's atmosphere alters and blocks the light that comes from space. The Hubble orbits above Earth's atmosphere, which gives it a better view of the universe than telescopes have at ground level and gets rid of all that Earth light. Another one is, where did the name Hubble come from? Hubble is named after an American astronomer, Edwin P. Hubble. He made important discoveries in the early 1900s. He showed that the galaxy containing the solar system, the Milky Way, was only one of many galaxies. His work helped to show that the universe is expanding, among other discoveries. So what are Hubble's most important discoveries? Well, one of the coolest things Hubble has done is help scientists understand how planets and galaxies form. An image called the Hubble Ultra Deep Field shows the farthest galaxies ever seen. This single image, taken over a 10-day period, contains roughly 5,500 galaxies. Not stars, but each one of those little bright dots you see there is a galaxy. Consider this image in relation to our entire night sky to really, really blow your mind. So where do the colors in Hubble's images come from? Well, Hubble transmits about 140 gigabytes of science data every week back to Earth. That's equal to about 45 2-hour HD quality movies, or about 30,000 MP3 songs for whoever still downloads those. The digital signals are relayed to satellites, then to ground station, then to NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, and finally to Space Telescope Science Institute. The institute translates the data into images and information we can actually understand. Hubble pictures start out as shades of black and white. The Space Telescope Science Institute adds colors to the pictures for different reasons. Sometimes colors are chosen to show how an object might look to the human eye. Other times colors are chosen and used to highlight an important detail, or they can be used to show details that would otherwise be invisible to the human eye. And of course, what is the future of Hubble? Hubble celebrated 28 years in service this year. Engineers designed Hubble so that it could be replaced and upgraded as needed, which it did during the shuttle missions. Since the telescope's launch, 5 space shuttle missions have carried astronauts to Hubble for servicing missions. The last mission was in 2009. Hubble was upgraded so that it was better than ever. It's pretty incredible that it can just be upgraded like that over the years. The telescope will not be repaired or upgraded again, of course, because the space shuttle is out of commission. But is it expected to continue to work until at least 2020 and maybe more? Meanwhile, NASA and its international partners are preparing the James Webb Space Telescope, which of course was just delayed until maybe the spring of 2020. The Webb is an infrared telescope that will be larger than Hubble. Instead of orbiting Earth, the telescope will orbit the Sun from a point beyond the Moon. Webb will send back amazing images like Hubble does, and it will help astronomers unlock more of the biggest mysteries of the universe. So all in all, I see the Hubble lasting maybe a total of 30 years before it gets replaced by the James Webb, maybe a few more, but either way, it's definitely served its mission. Now, guys, I really thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's going to be all for our talk about Hubble today. We're going to take a look at some other spaceflight missions, some other cool spaceships coming up soon. So if you did enjoy this, guys, I really ask that you would support the channel. Consider sharing, liking, supporting on Patreon. We really appreciate it. If you think we deserved it, click that subscribe button and let us know what you think. If you want to see more, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Reddit and all that good stuff, and join the conversation, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on